Hey, gang, Carl White here, broadcasting from the communications room here at the secret headquarters of the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And you are listening to Loan Officer Freedom, #1 podcast in the world today for loan officers, because you knew that one day we were going to talk about guaranteed way to meet with top real estate agents. Guaranteed way to meet with top real estate agents. A bold promise there, Mr. Chris Johnstone. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing wonderful. So we're going to talk about guaranteed way to meet with top real estate agents. So, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about like, let's talk first of all, why do we want to market to real estate agents? And I've got a stat for that I use every day.
Go for it.
67% of all loans close with the loan officer that the real estate agent recommended.
Mm.
I can't get past that. It doesn't mean that we don't work on the other 33%, like getting referrals from attorneys, getting referrals from title companies, past database,
Yeah.
some that want to do consumer direct. Like I get all that, right? And it's all good stuff, right? I'm not saying not to do those things. But if almost 2/3, or I guess by definition, 2/3 of all purchase loans close with the loan officer that the agent recommended, man, I love swimming downstream.
Yep.
Right? Swimming upstream just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like wherever the gold is, let's dig there.
Yep.
Right. So that's why the agent's first place. How about why is it so important to work? Like some people, why do we want to work with the top agents as opposed to making relationships with new agents that might not have any business now, but maybe someday they will? Let's talk about the pros and cons of that for a few minutes.
Yeah. So I was actually on a conference call, and the information there was that 49% of the real estate agents in America last year did one or less transactions.
Yeah.
So right there, half of the people that you're going to pull if you don't have the right data aren't going to be able to send you a deal as much as they love you. They just don't have the business to get to you. I think it's, the old 80-20 Pareto principle is probably closer to 90-10 if you're
Yeah.
looking at really making sure that you're getting volume from
I,
the efforts that you put into it.
I couldn't agree more. I think so. The danger of working with brand new agents is I don't know what the actual stat is, but it's been my own personal experience. About 80% of them wash out. They go back to driving an Uber or being an engineer or back to the beautician shop or wherever they came from, right? So 80% don't make it. And so I don't want to do something that I have an 80% chance of failure.
Mm.
That doesn't rank real big in my book of something to work at. But I tell you, the biggest problem I think of working with, and we're going to use the term qualified and unqualified here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, make sure everybody understands this. We're not judging them as human beings, right?
100%.
We're judging work performance, period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Work performance, period. And so qualified means in my book is they're closing at least 8 buy sides in the last 12 months. That's
Right.
just I just somebody taught me that number years ago and I've just stuck with it. The problem with marketing to an unqualified agent, number one, I'm not going to get a deal. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have a deal to send to me, or very few.
Mm-hmm.
But worse, Chris, is it's going to falsely teach me the thing that I'm marketing to them, the way I'm marketing, the message I'm doing it, the platform I'm using it, whatever it is going to teach me this doesn't work because I did this thing, I did this marketing, I did this presentations, I made this office class teaching, I did this social media teaching, I did this phone calling and didn't get any business. But it's not because it didn't work. That means I was knocking on the wrong tree.
Hmm.
And it's like going to an oak tree expecting apples to fall down, right? It's not going to happen.
Right.
And so it poisons my mind that this activity doesn't work. Oh no, the activity might have been just fine. I was just knocking on the wrong door. They didn't have a lead to send me. And so it teaches me, hey, this strategy didn't work. I wasted my time. Don't ever do that again because I got no loans from it. when I haven't tested the strategy at all, I was going to a source that didn't have deals. So we have got to market to the qualified agents. Now,
100%.
I will say that we do get, so in my branch, we close hundreds and hundreds of loans literally each month, including this month, right? And Chris, we do get a fair amount of deals from our unqualified agents.
Hmm.
But we did actually Steve did this, Steve Kyles. I've learned a lot from that guy. Don't tell him, right? Don't tell him. I've learned a
That's
lot from
amazing.
that guy. He's an amazing guy, really is. Very successful branch manager. And so he did a study which really grabbed my attention. So they measured how many deals did they get per month from qualified versus unqualified agents. Again, qualified, they're closing 8 buyer sides or more in the last 12 months. Unqualified, they didn't. And what they found was for every 20 agents that were unqualified that they were marketing to, they would close one deal, not per agent, but like total.
Hmm.
So, in other words, if he's marketing to 40 agents, he's getting total for the month 2 deals totally from those 40 agents. Nothing wrong with that,
Yep.
right? Because you figure, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000 per closing, $8,000 that he's getting marketing to those 40 people. Nothing wrong with that, right? But get this, on the qualified, it averaged one closing for every two,
Hmm.
literally, coincidentally, 10 times better.
Yep.
So, in other words, if he wanted 2 deals, he could market to 40 of the unqualified or 4 of the qualified.
Yep.
And so you want to make sure you're doing the qualified. All right. So now let's transition to the actual topic that we want to talk about here today is how do I find out who's qualified and how do I market to them?
Yep.
So how do I find
Absolutely.
out, Chris? And how do I find out our bold promise was guaranteed way to meet with top producing agents
Hmm.
for free? How do I do that?
Okay. So, um, inside the AI-powered Loan Officer CRM, we just made a massive announcement that we are including an engine where you can search and pull all of the qualified real estate agent data right inside the system. Then you click a couple of buttons and put them into the proven follow-up campaign and power dialer that we've included in the system. And for those that get in before the end of the month, we're including it for free.
So is this the and I don't, look, I want to be super cool because it's just the way we do things around here.
Mhm.
So some of these agent search engines like Modex, MMI, great companies. The owners of those companies are friends of ours, right? Are friends
Mhm.
of mine. I'm assuming you know them too, but they're friends of mine, right? And we've done work together. It's are awesome people, and there's many others. List Reports, many others, right? They're great
Yep.
program,
All
but
awesome.
it's the same technology is automatically built into the Loan Officer CRM.AI system,
Yep.
so that in my CRM I can do a search of Wichita, Kansas,
Wherever
the
you're
name,
located. Mhm.
wherever you're located, anywhere in the United States, every city, every state.
Yep.
I go in there, I click a couple buttons, and here's my 75 agents in Wichita, Kansas that closed 8 buyer sides and more in the last 12 months,
That's
or
right.
whatever number I put in.
That's right.
Once I have that information of here's the agent, what information do I have? Do I just have a name and then I go on Google and look up their contact information? How does that work?
No, so all of the information is actually imported into the CRM when you import the contacts in. So a lot of the contacts have cell phone numbers, and then their office lines. You've got their name, their email, cell phone, regular phone number. We don't have cell phones on all of them, but the data is incredibly good. Plus, inside the dashboard, you've got the ability to look up their actual production, like what deals they're doing, what lenders they're doing that business with. The data is absolutely incredible. And you've got links in there to all their social media as well. So you can connect with them on Facebook, connect with them on Instagram. All that is available as well.
So So I log on, I type in Wichita, Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
or wherever, any city, as many cities as I want, I guess.
Yep.
And I log in and I can pick 3 different cities, right? Whatever.
Yep.
And I want 8 buyer sides and more agents. It gives me a list. I've got their name, their phone number. Oftentimes it's their cell phone number,
Yep.
their email address, all their social media, like click on the LinkedIn, the Facebook, the Instagram, like whatever social media they have. I click on that. It takes me to their page,
Yep.
right? I can look up their information. Their average loan amount is this. Their deals are in this area. Like, where are they
Mm-hmm.
located at? Are they cash or are they financed?
Yep.
And if they are financed, who's the loan officers are currently working with?
That's right.
So I guess, that's actually something I just thought of. An advantage of knowing what loan officers are working with is I know who my competition is. So just being honest, Chris, I look on there and I go, oh, they're working with my buddy, um, Steve Kyles.
Yep.
Right? Steve's my brother,
Mm-hmm.
right? I love that man, right? I really do. He's an awesome guy. Dude, I'm not going to call that agent.
That's right.
He's working with my buddy Steve, or he's working with, I don't know, insert in loan officer that's in my branch. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to call that one because there's 100 others,
That's right.
right? But the other thing that it shows that I really like is it shows me, like, we were looking at one yesterday and I saw they did 4 deals last year with one loan officer and then like 20 other deals with 20 other single loan officers.
Yep.
And what that taught me is that person, they're not really in bed with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that person's like wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll show me the individual information of that. Dude, can you imagine having this information 20 years ago or 25 years ago when we got started and all this stuff?
No. No, I cannot. It's
It used to be
insane.
a dartboard. Like, dude, can you remember the days? God, I remember the days where I'd go to open houses on the weekends. I'd go to these open houses and come to find out most of the time, like, the big wig agent wasn't even at the open house. It
Mm-hmm.
was one of their junior agents
Mm-hmm.
that would actually, sit at the open house and have no clue what their volume is. That now that you can go and cherry pick who they're doing. All right, so I get this list of, say, I'm just going to grab a number, 100 of these qualified agents in Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with that?
So you click the ones that you want to import into the campaign, and then you click another button to import them into the campaign. And what we've done is we've written an entire year's worth of marketing for them. Because in many markets, there's more people than you can call following the daily success plan. So we built a power dialer into the CRM. So
What's a
they go
power
into the
dialer?
campaign. So power dialer is because we're getting the phone data. So you can put that into the CRM, click a big green button, and it will automatically start calling the phone numbers that are on the contact record. So you don't have to go look at the contact record, pull out your phone, dial the number, and then call. It automatically calls. If they don't pick up, it leaves a voicemail that you pre-record on the system and automatically starts dialing the next phone number. So you get through, I figure it's about 4 times the amount of contacts. So
Right.
if you're doing a call session right now and you're talking to 25 people, use power dialer, you got 100 contacts that come through the system. So the power dialer, so you can get more calls out because that creates more callbacks, more voicemails, just more results, right? Put more on the top of the funnel, you're going to get more at the bottom. So anybody that you call through the power dialer that doesn't answer, they get a voicemail, they're automatically dropped into the campaign. Anybody that you don't dial automatically is in the campaign and starts getting the messaging. And that messaging is set up, you import them once, and that system goes for a year with 6 different offers. Because one of the things that we've discovered, Carl, we've got this thing called the concierge, where we have a team of North American based dialers that are working primarily with people that we work with to make phone calls to qualified agents and make phone calls to databases and actually book appointments. Cheyenne booked 19 qualified appointments yesterday. put
Wow.
more on the top of the funnel. Well, basically doubled because now powered with AI. But what we've discovered in making all of these phone calls, we're booking over 1,000 qualified appointments a month right now. What we've discovered is that when we're calling this elite group, like we got the right list finally, calling that elite group, there are specific offers that really get them motivated to talk to you as a lender. And basically, we've discovered 6 of them. Now, the old traditional, hey, I hear great things about you. You're doing awesome things. I'm a student of success. I'd just love to meet with you and talk about how we can, be successful together. I butchered that because I don't have the script in front of me. I apologize. But that still works, right? That still books appointments. But what we found is that real estate agents have a script, especially these top producers, because they're getting called by mortgage lenders all the time, right? So they have a script to deal with that. And it's, hey, I have to give out 3 names, or I have a lender that I send all my business to. Now we've got the data behind to know whether they're actually, using that, but everybody's going to use a script.
Yeah.
What we've discovered is that it's more about being in front of them at the moment when they have a pain point. So it's a Saturday afternoon, they're working with somebody who they need an answer on the mortgage side of things fast, or they've got a deal where they need a second opinion. It's more about being in front of them with value at that moment, so you're the person and the lender that gets the call, than it is about the first time you talk to them, giving them the best offer presentation that they've seen. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, that rate sheet presentation was amazing. I'm going to work with you over my current lender. Typically
Right.
doesn't
Right.
happen like that, right? It's about being there when they need you. And so the 6 different offers given automatically over time through the CRM makes it so that you're providing value, you're top of mind when they need that help, and you're the one that gets the call. And then the AI instantly follows up with them so they get that fantastic first experience. And we're finding that that's what really moves the needle to open up the relationship so that the loan officer can do what it is that they do.
Let me ask you this. So you mentioned about the power dialer. So let's say I'm located here in the Tampa Bay area, right?
Yeah.
And let's say I find, or let me give another example. Let's say I'm in uh, Wichita, Kansas,
Yes.
right? And I've never been to Wichita that I can imagine. By the way, Kansas is a beautiful place. I went there not too long ago. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous state. It really is. But let's say I'm in Wichita, and let's say it's a smaller town, right? And maybe I shouldn't have even named it. 'Cause I'm going to get all these emails now from Wichita saying, "Hey, we're a big, huge city," right? So whatever. But I'm in this smaller town, or I'm in a town where it snows a lot in the wintertime and housing
Mhm.
markets, or I just want to pick a different area because it's a good area to pick on. Like Texas is great. If you like doing VA loans, boy,
Mhm.
Texas is hard to beat. There's so many bases there and so many veterans live there. VA loans, you want to do Texas. So I'm here in the Tampa Bay area, Wichita, Kansas, wherever, and I want to market to Texas, to whatever, Dallas or Houston or Waco or wherever. So I'm calling on my list here in Tampa, but you know what? I don't want to call the list in Texas. I
Right.
don't want to use the power dialer.
Okay.
So how does that work? If I got my list of qualified agents, they're in the Waco, Texas area, and I want to
Mhm.
start marketing to them. But just being honest, for whatever reason, like no judgment, I don't want to pick up the phone. How can I
Mhm.
do that?
So you would just load them into the campaign, and the campaign will just start the follow up. You don't have to make the phone calls if you don't want to. And if you were going after VA specific realtors, the system can actually do a loan search by loan type. So you could go in and do a search and just pull the data of the real estate agents that are doing VA deals. So you're then able to send out market specific information on how you help realtors that do VA loans. And again, you load them into the system, it follows up with an email a week for a year. And if you don't want to make the phone calls, you don't have to. Now, that being said, we see the data behind the system. and you will book roughly double the amount of appointments if you make your calls. But if you don't have time, you can still let the system run and still generate qualified appointments by just running the system.
So I don't have to actually make the phone calls in. So it said, so what does it do then? It sends them out messages to set appointments on my calendar. What if they so I'm sending these, they're in the campaign and it's sending out these messages to insert in any town in the United States I'm licensed in, right?
Mhm.
And it's Saturday afternoon and one of them responds to that and pops over a question.
Mhm.
What happens?
So that question that they've written goes into the CRM, and our CRM has a prompt. And that AI prompt is, we've written it so it knows what message has been sent to the realtor and what the realtor is responding to. We send that message into our AI conversation engine and it spits out a response for the real estate agent. So AI actually gets the message from the real estate agent, understands it, and then writes a response for the real estate agent for you. Now, every account that we launch has a safety net at first. And so you get an email or a text message that says, hey, a qualified real estate agent just responded inside your campaign. Here's what they said. Here's what the AI is going to say. If you approve it, click here. Now, if you click that button, the CRM gets that, sends the message off to the real estate agent. Now, what we're coaching our members to do is pick up the phone. You get the notification, you're in a real-time conversation with an agent that's closing 8 buy-side transactions or more in your target area. They're ready to have a conversation.
They reached out to you.
They reach out to you.
Yeah.
So the campaign has done all the work. Everything's automated. You haven't done anything at that point, but you get an email and it's, I want to have a conversation. Well, that's great. Let's have that conversation. Let's pick up the phone. Let's call that qualified agent and let's actually start the relationship at that point. But if you can't, I've got 2 young kids. I love spending time with my kids, and there's nothing that's going to get me, if I'm playing soccer on Saturday afternoon, I see a little ding, I'm just going to hit the link and be like, yeah, AI, send the message. I'll call them on Monday. You know what I mean? But if it's Thursday afternoon, darn right, I'm going to make a phone call based on that message and I'm going to convert that relationship.
Hey, what happens? So let me ask you this. So I pull up I do a search and I get the qualified agents in, I'm just going Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep.
And then I'm also going to do Charlotte, North Carolina, like whatever. I just grabbed 2 cities. Can I then download those list of those agents and then upload them into Facebook to do retargeting ads to those agents?
Carl, that's so much work. Downloading and then uploading. What we do is inside the workflow, if you want to run Facebook targeting ads, you just add a little segment inside the workflow that says, add these to a custom audience. And then every time you upload the list into that workflow, it automatically updates the audience inside your Facebook ads account. And we love to run ads to our qualified agents, $5 a day. So every time they log into Facebook, you've gotta, normally they'll see your ad, every 5 or 6 times they log into Facebook, and it's just that branding to them at $5 a day. So every time you upload a new list into a campaign, you can have it so that that audience is automatically updated on Facebook and they start seeing your ads.
And nobody else sees that ad other than those qualified agents. I'm not paying for people outside the industry or my competition seeing the ads. The only people that see my Facebook ads would be the qualified agents. One thing I tell you, I've really been a fan of doing that.
Yeah.
I have. I've used that. I've been doing that for years because
Mhm.
the advantage it has for a loan officer or a branch manager is it's a really, really super fast, super easy, uh, and somewhat automatic way to become industry famous. That when all these qualified agents are seeing your ads and now they're getting your marketing campaigns from the CRM, um, if you decide to make the phone calls, if you're making those phone calls, it's much more likely somebody's going to take your call. They're going to open your email. They're going to, frankly, accept your pre-approval letter
That's right.
for their listing if they know who you are. And when you're targeting the qualified agents who have almost all the closings that's happening in your county anyway, right? It's back to, 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the closings, or probably more than that. Like you said, probably 90-10. That when they know who I am because I'm in front of them via email, maybe I'm texting them if I got my compliance and I got permission to do that. I know the CRM will text on my behalf also, as long as you're doing it compliant, of course, and via the email, and then the social media ads, and then if I'm deciding to my phone calls, it's like, man, we're just we're using what we call octopus marketing, where you're just touching them in all these different ways. It's like it's just a killer way to absolutely dominate the area. It's no secret that a handful of loan officers dominate any one given city.
Yep.
It's just because they're doing a lot of things, and now that you can do that same things, it's just, instead of having a team of 20 people doing it and all these these marketing people all doing this stuff, it's all built into one single software. So or system. So hey, for somebody that's interested and want to take a peek and take this thing for a 30-day test drive, what's the best way to do that, Chris?
So head on over to LoanOfficerCRM.AI. So not .com. LoanOfficerCRM.AI, because it's powered by AI. Every single campaign that's pre-done, the database campaign, the pre-approved in lookings, the campaign we talked about today with the real estate agents, it's all powered by AI. So LoanOfficerCRM.AI. Again, take action right now. Go to that website, buy the program, because we are including the real estate agent data for no charge if you get in before the end of the month. After that, there is going to be a charge to get that data. But if you act right now, you can go and get that agent data for free inside the system when you sign up today. And like Carl said, you've got a full 30 days to try the whole thing out. So you're not making the decision today. You get in on the inside, you get paired with a one-on-one success coach that's going to guide you through the setup process. There's some stuff. You got to register a phone number. There's A2P that goes along with that. You got to set up your email signature. We're going to walk you through all those steps. Take that care of that for you. If at the end of 30 days you're not entirely happy, we'll give you 100% of your money back. So there's no risk. You got 30 days to try it out.
And they can keep the qualified agent lists that they got, the bonuses. They can keep all that.
Don't tell them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, of course. Of course. Of course.
Hey, and I think you kind of already covered it. You know, I have seen the number one reason. Look, everything we've said, everybody gets this. Everybody gets, hey, I know CRM's work and marketing to my past database and Realtor. The reason why most loan officers don't is they never set it up.
Yep.
So how do you overcome that?
So the one-on-one success coach, because when you're partnered with a person rather than a support desk, there's that commitment between each other that we're actually going to get this thing launched. The second is we have 4 classes. They're not even classes. They're implementation sessions every day. So wherever you're at in the process, we've got one that's basic, one that's intermediate, one that's advanced, and one that's a free-for-all, right? So if you need help with something, there is somebody waiting to help you on that specific thing. So you show up to the call, share your screen, we walk you through it, or the person who's running that call just goes into your account behind the scenes and does whatever needs to be done in order to get it going. So you're paired with a one-on-one success coach that's there to help you actually launch the system, and you've got daily support. Plus, we've got a private Facebook group for just our members. So you're around other loan officers that have already gone through that setup path, that are already seeing results in the program. And that helps keep you motivated, because it's not like a one-day thing and then it's set up, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, and you got to stay motivated through that time. So we've got the community to kind of cheer you on as you go through the process as well.
And this private one-on-one success coach, just clarification, it's not an AI bot. Like it's an actual person. Like it's a real
Yep.
person that's my success coach. And we kind of partner up and they hold my hands and walk me through it. Um, hey, anything, I think we kind of covered it here. Anything I should have asked you today that I didn't? Did we cover everything? Did I miss anything?
No, that's everything. Just we are moving very quickly with this automation. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is implementing the daily success plan within the CRM and having those campaigns pre-written. I think one of the things that has held a lot of loan officers back from success is that technical implementation of, okay, I got to take the emails and I got to put them into a system. I got to take the text messages, put them into the system. I got to time this whole thing. I've got to, like, there's so many steps to getting a campaign actually running. And by preloading everything in there and giving you a success coach, it's like, I want to run the database activator. Okay, well, get your database. Let's load it into the system. Let's help get you launched. It's just, you always say, Carl, it's like when you hear a good idea and then the time in between hearing the idea and getting it launched, the shorter you can get that time frame, the greater your opportunity of success is. And we're taking every single resource we possibly can to shorten that gap for as many people as we possibly can that come into the system. And I think that's priceless.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What was that website again?
LoanOfficerCRM.AI. And I can't wait to see y'all on the inside.
Because you don't want to be on the outside of this wave. I'm telling you right now, there's some really cool stuff on the horizon that I've seen. Because in just a short little while, you keep adding things to it, like this free source of getting realtor data that once you buy into the system, you get all the realtor information now for free. So
Mm-hmm.
really cool stuff. Chris, dude, you're an awesome dude. I learned so much from you. You help. It's like the perfect marriage of behind the scenes. We call ourselves the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, where I bring the decades of proven scripts and strategies that have literally made me literally tens of millions of dollars here in the mortgage industry, and then you bring this cutting edge technology that has done very well, for you, your company, and for thousands of loan officers across the nation. Some really cool stuff. And when you combine those two, the technology with proven techniques and scripts, magical things we're seeing really happen. So we're seeing some just really incredible growth. So I appreciate you, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Everybody, thank you for listening, and see you on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, guys. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you on the inside on that private Facebook group page. Looking forward to seeing you on the next class. Thanks again. Bye bye.